Time to talk Rebels here at the Voice of College Football. We got Jake Evans on the line from the Rebel Walk. It's always a good discussion. Let's go down to Lane Kiffin's country there in Oxford to talk up a bowl champion over a top 10 or 15 Indiana team. Jake, how you doing today?
Good day, Mark. Good day. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you. I know that you've got a little bit of basketball and baseball to cover as well, but we're going to track you down for some football and look forward to the spring practice, which has yet to be announced. But we know, as you mentioned to me a few minutes ago, that the Grove Bowl is coming up the last week of April. And again, Jake, we give you kudos here because you are the one and only that doesn't have a mini helmet. Ole Miss is the only one that reps the full gear.
I know. I love it. Every time I log on and I see you put that helmet up there, it makes me feel special.
That's it. You are.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see if you get a special football team. He had a special offense last year, and Matt Corral was one of the big reasons why. 29 touchdown passes in a short season. Mighty impressive there. 71% completion percentage. And he's coming back and maybe just needs to make a few less mistakes looking downfield.
Yeah, no, that, like you just said right there, that was the only real knock that people had on him last season. He threw, what's the number? I think he threw 11 of his 13 interceptions in the Arkansas and LSU games alone. You take out two of those two games right there, and he's probably in the Heisman talk for a while. Obviously didn't put up as many touchdowns and things like that as guys like Mac Jones, but he had a really, really phenomenal season. Ole Miss's offense spoke for itself. It was about as electric as anybody else's in the country. We put up the best single season of offense in SEC history. It's kind of crazy because we really only did it with a handful of guys. Sadly, Elijah Moore was the main guy on that team. He would have been, we talked about him before. He was on pace for one of, if not the best season in college football history for a receiver. Ended up not playing the rest of the season, opted out. But yeah, there's a lot of like we talked about a minute ago, there's a lot of moving pieces on this team. We're kind of right at the end of the Matt Luke era where some of these older guys on this team came in under him. Some of these younger guys are the beginning of the Kiffin era, and so this will be kind of the first year where we've got a big group of guys that are Lane Kiffins. So we're excited for this. This is going to be an exciting spring.
Matt Corral in place again. John Rice Plumlee, a guy that at one point would battle it out with Corral for the starting job, and it was kind of like this 50-50 call a couple of years ago. Now it's gotten to a point where he can be used elsewhere in the offense.
Yeah, no, like you said, it's kind of crazy because 2 years ago we had a quarterback contest on our hands, and the wildest thing was that they could not have been more different in their skill sets. Matt Corral is a gunslinger. He's a good runner, but he's not nearly as good a runner as Plumlee. And we saw that 2 years ago. Plumlee played. He played the majority of the season. Ran for over 1,000 yards. Absolutely torched teams like LSU and Bama. And then once Jeff Lebby came to Oxford, he ushered in more of a passing offense, which just doesn't fit Plumlee's skill set nearly as well as Corral's. Like we talked about, Corral had a great year. He fit very well with Jeff Lebby's offense. We're ecstatic that we were able to keep UCF away for at least one more year and able to hold on to Jeff Lebby. But yeah, we talked about it, and everybody's excited to see Plumlee because he's expected to kind of turn into a utility weapon. We've seen him, he made some throws this year. He carried the ball a bunch. He also caught some passes. He caught a big one in the bowl game. Right now he's playing center field for the baseball team. So, the guy he can do it all. He had a 420-foot home run the other night. He can do it all really just wherever they need him. That's what he's going to do. And like I said, we expect to see him more as a utility weapon than, strictly a quarterback next year.
So they must seem really good in a comfortable place with the rest of the quarterback room if they can say, okay, Rice Plumlee, we can move you to slot receiver, let you work there. How does the quarterback battle look in the backup role? Yeah,
so Grant Tisdale was a guy who came in a couple of years ago, big four-star prospect out of Allen, Texas. He was here for a couple of years, ended up entering the transfer portal last year. He was expected to probably be the backup coming into this year had he had not transferred. But as it stands right now, you're either looking at Kincaid Dent, which he's a sophomore from Jackson, Mississippi, a big, tall pocket passer. you're either looking at him or you're looking at Luke Altmaier, who's the 4-star quarterback that we pulled out of Starkville, Mississippi this year. He's the second best prospect in this class, one of the top guys who really helped get the ball rolling and helped flip a lot of these guys that the Rebels ended up signing in this 2020 class. And so, those are the two guys that you're probably looking at realistically. I would imagine that Luke Altmaier is probably going to have the edge. I think he's just a more talented quarterback, but Kincaid Dent definitely has, more experience on him. He's already been in Jeff Levy's offense for a year, worked with some of these weapons and has gotten a little bit more adjusted to the college game. So really it's hard to tell as of now, but I think talent wise, Altmaier is probably going to edge him out.
Altmaier, top 200 prospect in his class, according to the 247 Sports Composite, 13th rated pro style quarterback